Tries to make this block, but he cannot handle the size and quickness of Jennings, who gets inside of both he and Ruckert and gets it.
Rookie, as we talked about, Amarius Mims, and he beats him.
With modern day, Lawrence Taylor-ish.
Well, look at Bosa with the pressure outside, and he pushes him right into Malik Collins.
This is a great job. Watch 49. He's going to come in and just blows that whole thing up. He knocks Luke Musgrave right back.
I mean, his rookie season last year, he was as good as any player in the league.
Rushers, they've got two great ones when Bosa's healthy on both sides, but Mack is turning back the hand.
And Myles Garrett is so low to the ground. You see Andrew Thomas kick out as best he can, but Myles Garrett turned the corner so fast on him, there was nothing.
Footwork. And then, hey, you got beat inside quick. You got to be the one who's coming back to help. And his feet
long. That's plain and simple. Step up in the pocket if you're going to hold it that long. But Brian Burns makes a nice play.
Get the high upfield shoulder right here, and then watch him come back inside and spin. Right there, chop, spin, catch him with that back elbow, and then finish at the quarterback.
Anytime as a quarterback, you hate to get pressure up the middle, because if it's from the outside, you can step up in the pocket, but nowhere to step up when hand comes.
But I love that he's on the edge, and he's going against a Pro Bowl guard. Joel Bitonio gets right inside, splits the double team, and makes sure that he wraps up.
Remember, you have three new pieces up front. Two on the left side, and Simpson and Smith still feeling each other out.
In the grasp, as they used to call it.
It just felt like they continued to let the play go. Sweat grabs him right here, and the whistle hadn't been blown. So
look to the left of your screen, Grenard. He's going to go work over the rookie, Cade Stover from Ohio State, and he goes right through his chest. Gets him off balance, runs him over, and then takes down C.J. Stroud. You got to have a...
And they're getting home. Right there, Caleb Williams is trying to hit an option route in the slot. Doesn't open up, forced to hold the ball.
Top 5 in scoring offense through 2 games, but going backwards on the first play here. Yeah, it's just a zone read, and it's either a give to Barkley on the perimeter.
To bring the blitz, but they do a nice stunt here with a big man bringing him around. Trying to confuse that offensive line. Nobody picks him up. Wallace is locked up.
Hutchinson right here, and you've got this tackle who comes in off the practice squad, and Charlie Heck, you get an opportunity to line up there. You turn that corner, and
the new faces on that defensive front for Houston.
Right in the middle, big nose tackle working over Ingram, and he just stayed.
That Cross has given up this year.
A lot of the guys point to Antonio Pierce as we take another look at that replay.
This time, a little bootleg action, and
just went on a great 13-play drive. I mean, this is good football by the Giants.
Well, they're running a blitz here, and you're going to watch. I mean, he's going to come inside, outside with Branch, and I guarantee you one guy you want to block.
it's not late, and I know what he's calling is the wrap, lift, and then landing on top of him with the body. Watch this little lift and then drop.
Crosby off the edge, the pterodactyl-like wingspan, unblocked, gets the left hand up.
With Ruiz, the right guard, watch, he's going to give him a little up and under, little club move to the side of the shoulder. He's not going to get.
We know his potential. He used to just be a speed outside edge guy as a rookie, and I think he's really developed like most guys do in their second year. And with Jermaine Johnson down,
a two-way go on the center. He's just too quick. Forces this, and Lamar does that. What a job just being.
Collapse in the pocket, and then as soon as Deshaun Watson goes out there.
Meanwhile, Ardarius Washington has just gone down. He was the blitzer there. Oh, we see there, it took an awkward step.
Flying downhill. There's no fear at all right now, and it's something that New England's going to eventually have to grow into.
Dexter gave the one-hand clap after this play. It wasn't enough just to apply the pressure. He wanted to be able to sack Richardson right there, to stand over him.
Hunter coming from the edge. This time he lines up over the center and works in the middle, and he's wrapping up.
The big man, they're doing a little stunt. They're going to do a little TT stunt. Nose, tackle first, nose wraps, and those are two big, strong interior players. But again, they're doing it at a 5 down. That's their best burst.
But in this situation, back-to-back big plays to force Minnesota back and keep points off the board right before. But in this one, watch him go inside and make this play.
Pryor, who's starting in place of Nate Davis, just letting the defender come right through. You got to be stronger at the point of attack.
Chance it. I would have got out at the end of the half and said, let's go ahead and try the next 30 minutes.
Rookie year, first-round pick. Little stunt inside between Willie Gay, number 6, Brian Brzee, and again, Hurts just holding on to the ball.
Well, watch Young chop the hands of Colton McKivitz right here. Bam! Knocks his right hand down, uses his speed. What do we say?
Well, and they're trying to slide protection to Trey Hendrickson, but he splits the double team. You've got Nick Allegretti who's trying to work over to help him out. You got the left tackle, Cornelius Lucas.
Violet, I mean, you just see it right there.
Sullivan knocked you loose.
I mean, he beat Cam on an inside pass rush and was able to get penetration. I mean, I don't care what quarterback you have back there. I don't care what plays you're calling.
Casey Tua, a chance at a big man touchdown.
Could have gotten up, BFB.
This is one of those fun moments in game.
I mean, he feels Travis Etienne, I think, just that color over his left, and there's the spin, you know, coming off of that just really strong third quarter.
Well, just like they've done for most of the day, just a tremendous pass rush.
With his right hand, he's got the left hand glove. So he's done that multiple times tonight. I don't think anything's wrong with this hand, the left hand, by all accounts. They've said nothing.
And you're going to see him here. And just look at this, dips that inside shoulder. You see it was just textbook.
Bolton comes up with the big play.
Championship teams have championship players, and Nick Bolton's been doing this all night long. Sitting behind the line of scrimmage, deciphering what's going on, and when everything's on the line, getting across the line of scrimmage, shooting the gap, and beating the running back there. A fantastic game tonight by Nick Bolton.
And we'll close it out for Kansas City.
The city's really doing a nice job of coming up and sort of setting the edge and allowing those interior players to make plays. The other thing you'll note,
it is not.
It's a heck of a tackle, wasn't it?
As we said, right where you want to be, and my old teammate Kyle Van Noy transition.
Show 6 at the line of scrimmage, and then they back out after Gino changes things up. Only rush 4. Campbell gets low, gets him around the ankle. Phillips pushing him to the outside, which forces him up in the pocket.
The Dolphins with a couple sacks today.
Comes around the edge, and the most important thing for those D linemen, when you get to the quarterback, attack the football. Don't worry about getting them on the ground. If you can get that ball out, and Latu does it, gets a one-on-one on the outside against a tight end, and he's able to beat Cole Kmet right there, and a beautiful play by him, and a crucial moment for this Indianapolis Colts team.
His first NFL sack.
They're bringing pressure on 3rd and short. You want to get the quick throw off.
From the back, it's a loss of 3. Yeah, obvious passing situation. You see the Carolina Panthers, they're just dropping back in zone. And really for the second play in a row here to start this drive, there's nowhere for Gardner Minshew to throw the football, and he takes a sack.
Is just teeing off, and you're going to overload the left side of the Titans. They're just not being able to sort through. That's Edgerrin Cooper coming from that second level clean, and then
they're moving him outside to be a pass rusher, and here you go, Mack Wilson operating through the tight end, through the tackle.
By the second-year, second-round pick out of Auburn, Derek Hall.
Well, not a lot of time to throw.
He was unable to go. Put on the IR, by the way, not just inactive for today's game, but put on injured reserve.
And when that happens, your other defensive linemen get one-on-one matchups, and Herbig coming up huge today.
In Baker's face.
Well, I mean, it's one-dimensional now, right? You can see it to the inside. You get a great push, and he ran a stunt to the inside. He gets out of it, but...
Giving him a call, but then he thought, why am I going to poke the bear? So he let it go, and guess who became the Grizzly?
Well, look at Hargrave right in the middle, working on rookie center, Bo Limmer,
He's just going to get him edged to his outside and attack.
You got to get inside there. Gardeck beats him across his face. That's right. It hits him in the backfield. Another tight end.
In his young NFL career. See, they're putting Bond, even though they're in nickel, they're using Bond as the fifth guy. It just changes. Now look, you got both your receivers blocking big guys.
Land Clark, the head official. See how Ingram stops? Exactly, he turns around, and that's supposed to be his lead blocker. So
just wanting to say hello to his old teammates, and normally off the edge. This time he works inside a little bit.
Good coverage, and then here's the pressure. It marries itself together. Cover well early.
But it was messed up from the beginning.
So for Will Levis to be functioning behind this group, you're going to have some days like this. And, you know, you come in and you can say that the Green Bay defense was a...
But I want you to watch. This is a TE twist, basically. And once you break off, that's the last guy you want to see coming at you.
Yeah, but what he missed was right up here. Watch this. He's going to come back out, and there's no one there. And he has two blockers in front of him, and he's going to try to push the ball down the field. And then Coop is able to make the sack.
Yeah, he did. He had a convoy up there. And
by this Giants defense.
Right, and this is DeJuan Jones. I highlight him instead of Thibodeau because they benched him. It was James Hudson that was supposed to be on that side because DeJuan Jones has been having all types of issues with the rush off the edge, the speed off the edge. And Thibodeau, very aware of that, gets right around the corner for him.
Wow, this is going to be close. Again, a six-man front they're running into. Zach Bond does a great job at the point of attack, but now take a look.
Well, they're going to get a good pass rush. They're bringing extra guys, right? So
setting that up, he knows it's one-on-one. No one's on his side, not a running back, anything, and he just goes right around the edge on Slater.
And you're watching the defensive front. They're all just going to collapse the pocket. Dexter Lawrence gets in there. Isaiah Simmons, he starts to collapse, and then there's Bobby Okereke who cleans up Deshaun Watson. Again, another six-man pressure. You have man across the board on the back end.
The first of 5 sacks came this way, and they had to settle for 3s last week.
It went to the inside, but, I mean, anytime they're bringing numbers. So anytime you're going to bring 4 to a 3 side, you know, you have an advantage.
He's going up against Peter Skoronski in between those two guys. So just keep your eye there. You can see you're holding. You've got to be able to feel that your back is turned to Devontae Wyatt, but you've got to be able to feel that pressure coming in from that side and know that you've held the ball for a while because...
Yeah, this was a muddled handoff. So Tyquan Lewis.
Watch the end of this play. And is he trying to do anything crazy? Is he trying to make something happen that's not there? No, he's actually going to get 2 hands on the football. He feels it breaking down. He senses...
He's Ojulari. He's actually filling in right now for Brian Burns. Sometimes he goes in there and then they go to package with both of them in. And look how quickly he knifes inside, gets right in the backfield. Jerome Ford makes a nice cut, but no way for him to make that play.
Well, take a look at him here. He's going to be like, where are you? All right, see ya. Next guy, he takes up 2.
Elijah Chapman, he's going to wrap around and does a really nice job of using that athleticism to split the double team and gets right in there. I mean, Deshaun Watson.
They're trying to run off tackle, but watch the ability to set the edge. Foster Moreau, he's not able to get Zach Bond blocked. So even though that was only 4 defensive linemen, they used Bond there as that extra 5th edge player. And when they can set those hard edges in 5-man fronts.
Look pretty similar.
I think Jones goes the wrong way. He's supposed to crack down because we have a puller coming out. And that makes Anderson.
Got the game ball last week because of how well he played defensively. And you just see him going right in there. It was a blitz. He read it beautifully.
Gets the sack. Yeah, Quincy Williams, bringing pressure. And even though he doesn't get there, he occupies the back, frees up others to be able to get there. Again, we're not used to seeing Jeff Ulbrich dial it up, but he's very, very wise in changing things up.
The rookie left tackle.
Yeah, remember the big emphasis this year with the league, with those left tackles getting into the backfield, and you can see he gets pressure from the left, but the entire pocket.
Matthew Judon, and that was too much for him. Judon able to come off, but Rice somehow got turned just enough for the first down.